Let
How you
your
doing?
Holy Ghost. I'm doing excellent. I worked today. I worked from 9 to 5:30. Got off and went. I don't know. I just let the car drive. You know what I mean? Like I was just driving. I was on my way home. I had my GPS on, so I was just driving. You know, they say turn left, I turn right. You know, I was just driving. And I passed this place that I passed for the second time. The first time I didn't stop because my brakes ain't good and I didn't want to slam my brakes. So I was like, oh, next time, right. I said, so next time I see it, I'll stop. So randomly today, I'm just driving. I saw it again, but I saw it in the distance. I was like, how am I going to stop this time? And let me tell you, I went to the gas station because I was craving a ginger ale, and I haven't had a ginger ale in maybe 2 months. Went in, got the ginger ale, and then right across the parking lot, I'm going back to my car, and there's a taco stand. When I tell you, these tacos that I got today are the best tacos I've ever had in my life. And it's the tacos where you dip it in that jus. Oh, man. And they were authentic tacos. Man, they were so good. And they cut up. I said, you got any jalapenos back there? She said, oh, yeah. Like,
Oh wow.
all of it. But they were amazing. So, yeah, I had a good day. I had a real good day. How's your day been?
Very good. Very good.
How's your
Let
day?
me get some light in here. I could need some more light, I think. Shed a little light on this.
Now I'm about to share it on Facebook right quick.
Okie dokie. I was ready.
No, it's already shared. I shared it to the group. You told me to go live. So,
I think we already live.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
I think we've been live for a couple of minutes. I think we were live when you were talking about your tacos.
And is. Yup. So what you do today?
I had to go to get a chest, a CT scan of my chest. A couple of years ago,
Okay.
my lungs collapsed, and so
Uh-huh.
this was a follow up just to make sure that everything is as it should be. I don't
Uh-huh.
like doctors. I mean, I don't dislike the person. I don't
Right.
like going. It,
Right.
it traumatizes me to have to go. And like
Uh-huh.
last night, I was, well, I know when my doctor told me to get the CT scan, that was 3 weeks ago. But in
Uh-huh.
my head, I heard x ray. Now, x
Ah,
ray is not the
that's a
same.
big difference. That's a big difference. Yeah,
So last
not the
night,
same.
yeah, last night I'm thinking about it and I'm thinking, she said CT, I'm going for a CT. Let me research this.
Yeah, let me
Oh,
see what I'm going to do.
they might be putting stuff in my veins.
Die,
Oh, this
yeah.
this is stressful. So by the time I got there, I hadn't been inside of one of the new donut kind of things. I've been in the one that your whole body kind of goes into.
Okay,
Old
gotcha,
school, old school.
gotcha. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that one, the old school ones would always cause me to have panic attacks. So I
Right.
didn't know what I was going into. I was getting stressed, getting stressed.
Uh-huh.
But I got there and they were very kind, very gentle. They kind of held my hand, put me in the donut. It was fine. I was in and out. I just
Nice.
don't like doctors. I don't like hospitals. I don't like anything medical. Ugh.
Right. All right. What's up, Scott? I don't blame you. I understand that. And not from the point of doctors, but because having been diagnosed with lupus, I started out having to get, I think it was 11 vials of blood drawn every month. So I'm like, oh, this was better. If you want to do it on this side, do this one better. And I'm just like, how you doing today? Oh, I'm great. Yeah. Like I get compliments from the nurses. Like we be so happy when you come in because like you. This is really what they said. They said you always smell so good. Those people that come in there, it's lab work. They roll out of bed, they smell like bed, they ain't took a shower, they hair greasy, they in
Oh,
sweat. You know what I mean? When people doing just lab work, especially when they're doing regular lab work, they just sick of going to the doctor sometimes. But I fix myself up like, hey, I don't know who I'm gonna meet today when I go to the doctor.
Yeah,
I'm like, meet me a doctor.
Yeah, I bathe. I put on my smell good. I put on some deodorant.
Oh yeah, I do it all. Shave, nice and smooth and slick and shiny. You know, I'm ready. Yep. So yeah, well, I'm glad you had a good experience at the doctor today.
It was good. It was
So
good.
we're turning those experiences around.
Yeah. So that was good. And then I went to the bookstore, but I keep saying bookstore. I did not go to the bookstore. I went to my favorite coffee shop, the old throwback coffee shop and somebody came in and they started to play. They've got this piano that anybody can play. And so this girl came in and she was playing and it was like, wow, she's really good. She played for about 30 minutes and went on by the way. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. That is awesome. Women. That is absolutely awesome. That's a good vibe, you know. That's good energy. You know, you're not playing because you're at a job. You're not playing because, you know, someone asked you to. You're playing because you saw a piano and you couldn't help but you couldn't pass it without playing it. Yeah, that's good. That's good energy.
Good. I mean,
it is good.
She was very good at it. So I just enjoyed the music, drank my coffee, and did a little work with ChatGPT.
You and your staff.
Me and my staff trying to get me together. I don't know. They threw up their virtual hands because they don't know what to do with me. I don't even know what to do with me. One day I got
virtual hand.
One day I got it, and the next day I'm starting from square one. Like, hey, Chad, what about this?
and look, they say, here she go.
Chad is better at keeping straight on me than I am about keeping straight on myself. So that's what we did. Came back home.
Well, sounds like a good productive day. You went to the staff, you had your little checkup, everything was smooth.
Yeah. Listen to some nice music.
Yep. Bada boom, bada bing. And now we're here. And now we're here.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome to the late night happy hour with Carrie Irene and DrSue. Well, what comes up
comes out.
That's right.
Just saying.
Just saying. I'm having a glass of wine, actually. I stopped. I never said the reason why that gas station stood out to me. The name of it is the nickname of my grandfather, the first grandparent that I lost while I was living. And we used to call him Pop. But a lot of people call him Jack Black. But so a lot of people put that together and call him Papa Jack. The name of the gas station is Papa Jack. And I have never, how dare they? They don't know. So I was like, I gotta stop the next time. Yeah, I had to stop. So I got a bottle of wine. It was dusty, it was old. I was like, I bet this is some good wine.
It's just aged a little bit more. They say it's better.
It was Stella Rosa and it was pineapple chili. I couldn't pass it up. It's two of my favorite things: spice and pineapple. Give it to me. It came home with me, and it's actually very good. It's very good, indeed.
Wow.
So, you got any plans this weekend?
I think that I haven't decided yet, but I joined this meetup online, and it's about spirituality, metaphysical spirituality. Where they just have conversations about who am I, why am I here, what am I doing, da 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 da. And I thought, well, that might be interesting, since as of yet I haven't been able to find anybody else that I can talk to about that kind of stuff here. Mm-hmm. It was only us, wasn't none of us there.
Right. I understand. Understand?
So I'm gonna go and see what we got to say.
You know what I mean? Represent.
I think that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I think they're having some kind of festival. They've been having a lot of spring festivals, so I think they're having one of those this weekend.
Okay.
I may go to that, but I think I'm going to go to the metaphysical conversation just to see what it's about.
So it's in a physical location?
Yeah, it's at the library.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's a good place. Because, ain't nobody gonna be too loud. Off the ripper. They already ain't gonna be too loud. So yeah, nice and okay, yeah. Sounds good. Because some people start talking about metaphysics and you feel like you back in church again. It's like, because I do that. I do that a lot of times. Like I get into it, I get going, and it's like a sermon almost. So but yeah, if I was in a group setting, I wouldn't even bring that energy. But you never know. And that sounds like a good time. I wish that
it'd be interesting.
I hope I find something like that around here. I've been looking and I've been in circles, and all the circles I've been in, might I add, I loved, but it didn't do it for me. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having sex and you get off, but you really didn't come.
Yeah.
So I'm still looking. I'm still looking where I'm going to settle.
Yeah. I kind of think that this isn't it, but I'm going to go and give it a shot, see what happens.
Yeah. Never know where it may fork off.
Yeah. So what else is coming up for you, girl?
Let's see. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm just grateful for like this stuff and people like Monique. I'm just so grateful for Monique. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of places I could have gone. People offer me to go I know a lot of people, and I'm good to a lot of people. And all these people know I would do the same exact thing for them. So I had a lot of people. I had a lot of support when I was falling. I'm so glad I landed in Huntsville. Just because the way we both move, I don't have to explain to her why I mean be shut up in the room all day, and I don't ask her any questions. But we make sure we still check on each other. We make sure we're still there for them. And I have to rely on her, even sometimes financially. But she know I got her right back and then some, type of that. Yeah. That assistance. Like it's not help, it's assistance. Because assistance is not something that you take advantage of. It's not something that and it's also something that you reciprocate energetically in some kind of way. No matter how it is, you make sure it stays level all the time. And I appreciate that. And I love Huntsville. I'm realizing how much, I'm realizing how much I love a downtown feeling. Like that downtown vibe, not the city, and not really just country, but because I love the country. I want to live in the country, but hanging out and just people watching. I love a downtown area. People walking their dogs. There's kids. The car goes by. You know what I mean? But it go on by. It ain't all night. It ain't all the time. But the wheels spinning. But it catches everybody's eye because it's not a typical thing you see. But the ones that do it right. You're like, look yonder. That is nice type of. And I just love that. And there's so many options for that in Huntsville. There's Mid-City, where it's like a camp, like it's called the camp. And that's what it looks like. It looks like a whole bunch of tents and stuff together. But if you weave in and out of it, there's a coffee shop, there's a bar, there's live music and jazz, there's a fire pit right in the middle. There's a food truck parked right on the side all the time. Like sometimes there's 3 of them. Just depends on how busy it is, whether they open or not. There's, they do little plays. When it's Christmas, it looks like Wonderland. When it's St. Patty's Day, it looked like you're in a leprechaun land. They decorate it up and stuff. That's why I was telling you I was going to start working every Sunday, but it just didn't work out, with the schedule and whatnot. It was amazing. And then you got actual downtown, which is, listen, if you ever come to Huntsville and you want a good drink, go downtown and go to Stella's. The ambiance is immaculate. Like they have indoor little canopy, like like if you want a booth, You sitting back to back with somebody, but it seems private because you're in a booth. These have canopies over each booth, so it's like kind of enclosed, and I got the curtain like that. Oh man, it's just so nice. And the same thing inside and outside. And then outside, each table is situated with one of those rock fire pits in the middle of it. It is nice. And then you go to the balcony and look out, you just see downtown. You see the people walking up. You see the people coming into that place. You see all the things. It's so good. It's so good. It's a good time. They got good food down there. And then you have Providence. Providence is probably my favorite bar because they got really good food. You know, when you can have a bar that's got good food, so you stay level, you ain't got to get no Uber, and you can be responsible. That's it's the Furniture Factory. There's two different ones. It's funny because when I moved here, I didn't know one from the other. One's downtown and one is in Providence. And I was like, yeah, I like going to the Furniture Factory. And everybody's like, downtown? I was like, no, Providence. Oh. So I don't know. I've never been to the one downtown, but that's the reaction I get from everybody. I'm like, no, I'm going to Providence. But these places are immaculate. So I'm just so grateful that I landed someone that has 3 places that all feel like downtown. You know what I mean? Like, what are the odds? What are the chances? But here I am. And it's those little things like that. I feel like had I landed here years ago, I wouldn't have noticed because I would have been too caught up with whomever was around and adapting to their world to realize that I was also in mine. And we do that. Like, I want to always realize I'm always still in mine, you know, because if someone is in theirs and I get sucked into theirs, I don't even realize the blessings that I've been asking for are even showing up because my point of focus is on the happiness of somebody else. But if I can be in mine and be so happy, just think about how much happy I can be for other people who happen to be in theirs too. Like, girl, yeah, I'm in mine too. That look good on you, you know? And then you share that together. But I don't think I've ever really had that where I was in my element and they were also in theirs, because it was like every time I was in mine, they were out of theirs. And every time they were in theirs, I was out of mine. And we were trying to coexist in this seesaw of emotional battling. It just don't work that way. That's why it's like, you know, how we talk about going in a relationship 50-50. It's like, no, you are 100, they're 100, completely solid in every sense of the word. And maintain that same sense of, point of attraction and the point of balance as they intertwine with other people. Like, I don't want to fall off my bike because I'm holding your hand as you riding on yours. And if your road go that way and mine goes this way, we have to let go of hands because somebody going to get drugged. And that's not fair. That's why people get so hurt. So I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful that I not only I know that I'm exactly where I need to be and supposed to be, I can see it. And I'm so very grateful for it because I don't think if I had done the peeling that I've been doing all these years, I would have been close enough to even see where I was.
I think that's so amazing. And you've said so much. And as you were talking, it occurred to me that even though many times we may not want to be, quote unquote, alone, it is in being alone that we have our strength. And being alone doesn't mean lonesome, and it doesn't mean that you don't have people in your world, but it means, as you say, you're 100% in your world, the other person is 100% in theirs. And as I think back on my life, some of the times that I thought I was going to be the most happy was when I had other people or another person in my world. But that was the time that I was probably least happy because I have yet to have someone in my world who could stand fully in theirs. And what I found myself doing, what I found myself doing in those times is that I would lean into them to be with them as opposed to being in my own space, in my own beingness, trying to make them comfortable, trying to make sure that they had what they needed. And when you do that, it never works out. It may be okay in the beginning because, oh, I'm so in love. If it's with a love relation, or if it's with a friend, oh, this is my bestie. But hi, Michelle. But in time, you begin to kind of resent that person. You may not want to even acknowledge it to yourself, but you began to, stand on your own feet, because I got my own feet that I'm trying to stand on over here. So I think that one of the things that we have to do is counteract the message, one of the major messages that society gives us, in that it says, you are my better half. Ain't nobody my better half. I'm my better half. I'm not whole without you. That's crap. I am fully whole without you. The messages that I'm talking about, and from very early on, that's what we hear oftentimes, and that's what we internalize and embody. And then when that person isn't in our life for whatever reason, we're all broken. Well, you're broken because you gave up yourself to someone else. You never fully embodied who you were. Whether you consciously did it or not, you bought into that message that you need someone to make you complete. And I especially hear women saying this. I've not heard men say it so much, but I hear women saying, you're my better half. No, no, you're not my better half. What I hear men saying more of is, by my side or behind me is this woman, right? A strong woman, or whatever the descriptor is. But they're not saying that they are not whole without her. And I think that's a significant point that we have to be aware of. Men don't say, you are my better half. Men don't say, in general, I'm not whole without you. But we women, we say that. And when the person isn't there, or the thing isn't there, then we are broken and we don't know how to get up, because we put all of our essence into someone else.
There's a saying that said, don't rock the boat. You really rock the boat when you're trying to dictate how somebody's going to feel, how somebody's going to live, what somebody's going to do, what makes them happy. Because I guarantee you, that even us, like we say, this makes us happy, that makes us happy. But like, for instance, if you're in a relationship with someone and you tell them roses make me happy, and every single day they bring you roses, pretty soon roses ain't going to make you happy no more. They ain't going to make you happy no more. Like, who want roses every day? Where you going to put them? Can you breathe? Are the bees inside now? Like, it's only so many days in a row. You want to get even the things you like. Like, I like chocolate chip cookies, but if somebody gave me a dozen chocolate chip cookies every day, before long I'm gonna be on my 500-pound life, because I'm gonna eat them. Because I'm gonna eat them. So, like, we gotta know that happiness and that joy, that security, that peace, that prosperity, that money, that longing, that sexuality. Because, honey, baby, even that, you got to have that down pat before you be trying to give it to somebody. You can't go in a relationship trying to have somebody make you feel sexy about yourself if you don't go into it saying, baby, I know I'm sexy. You want this or not? But, baby, hey, you know what I mean? Like, everything, every part. You can't go to someone saying, I just want them to validate me so that me, when I'm building my business, I convinced myself that I was not my business would not be the way I wanted it to be until I found that person that understood me and business, and we could work together and coincide in this beautiful expansion from rags to riches, blah, 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 blah. But I realized now one of my favorite words is stride. I want to meet them in stride, because they on a mission to do something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I see you over there. And first we waving from across the way, and then we striving and we working. And then next thing you know, we got to bump into each other. What the hell? I'm still running, ain't it? I say, you're looking good. You're looking good, too. Where you going? Over there? Me, too. Let's go. You know what I mean? That's how I want it to happen. And so a lot of times when, you know, I know it's not it, or I know it's not doing that, because if I'm constantly doing this with anyone, I already know it ain't it. I already know it ain't it. I'll still do that though. I'll still pick them up. I'll still show them the way, but I know it ain't me, because I know it's going to be a stride kind of love. It's going to be a stride kind of beginning, because I feel it. You know what I mean? I feel it. It's going to be one of them things, you know, like it's going to be a fairy tale love. I just know it is. So if it's not fairy tale like, if there's even a question about it, if you can even keep yourself away from me, it ain't it. Because the God I'm looking for, baby, I'll see you in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't even said nothing. I just see the look, and I'm like, I'll be right back. That's the kind of love I'm talking about. You know, ain't nothing. Look, what John B say? They don't need to know about you and me.
Well, what I know is that if you have to constantly pick someone up and carry them well, number one, you can't carry them in their journey, in their path. But if you got to constantly pick them up, no matter how much you love them, eventually you get tired. It's human nature. You just get tired. And honestly, for most people, I would think that they would get tired too. Angelique want to know what we're talking about. So, we're talking about dead weight, baby. Don't be carrying that dead weight. Whoever it is, let them down. Carrie Irene wants to make sure that her person is in the stride, and mine needs to be in flow. We flowing.
Hey, let's go. Heavy flow, let's go.
But they're striding in their lane and she's striding in hers. And they're just going to kind of look at each other and know, right? Just know. Looking at each other and know. And so we're talking about, I was just talking about when that it's okay to assist and or support someone, but it's not okay if you feel that you're not whole without that person, or if you buy into the narrative that they're not whole without you, because we are all fully whole. We may not embody that wholeness, which if in fact we don't see ourselves as whole, then that's a space that is an indicator that this is a space that we need to do some introspective work, some healing work in. And as difficult as that may be to admit to someone else, it really is. The other person holds a mirror up to you. And if you find yourself leaning into them and needing them to feel whole, then that's an area that you have to admit to yourself. If you want to evolve, you have to admit to yourself that I need to stop right here. I need to pause. And in pausing, I need to dig deep into me. What is it within me that makes me feel that I can't live or I can't be without this person? Many times it's just the programming. Many times it is, this is that inner child work that goes back to early on, your early development, where maybe you love someone and you didn't feel they love you, whether it's a parent, a sibling, or whoever. But we carry that kind of issue into all of our relationships. I have really, really good friends. They don't do each other. They don't. They're not into each other as friends. Now, I don't understand that, because I think that I am big enough and I have enough to be a good friend and to all of them. And naively, I was raised to think, well, we can all just be friends, can't we? They go, nope. No.
So apparently not. I never knew that was a thing until my adult life. I'm like, for real, like I don't understand it either. Which is why it's hard for me to remember to introduce people too. I don't get reading.
I know. I was thinking about I'm going to Atlanta next month, and I'm thinking about the people that I want to see, and it just got to be very tiring. Trying to plan the trip because nobody can be with anybody, and I felt like I'm going to be bouncing about around like a rubber ball trying to see all these people. And then I just said, "Hold up,
hold up! I ain't doing it.
It's too much.
Hell no,
it's too much." Because I don't understand why adults can't just be adults. You don't have to be best friends. You don't even have to like each other, but you can at least be cordial in the same room. But I don't want to put people in a space that they're not comfortable in or that they don't want to be in, right? I just don't understand that whole process. How you, I don't get it. Anyway, I don't even know how we got to that, y'all, but I'm just talking.
Look, just whatever comes up, comes up.
What we're talking about is be fully embodied with your beingness. Love you totally. Don't. It's okay to get assistance, and when you get assistance, you give assistance, knowing that I don't know that things will ever be balanced like 50-50. I don't know that it's supposed to be that way. I think that I lean on you when I need to lean on you. You lean on me. And so it's kind of up and down. But overall, it balances. That's the balance. If I am always leaning on you, but you can never lean on me, then we don't have balance. We're never going to have balance. Or if it's the other way around. But if it's a symbiotic relationship. I give, I get. You give, you get. And it kind of works like that in the middle. So that's what we're talking about. Just find your middle, I think. Find your middle.
Yeah. I think the middle is the middle of you, though. It's still like a centering of oneself. If you, I was saying this I did a radio interview on Monday. It's a radio station out of Detroit, Michigan. It's called Small Business Nation. And a young lady that I spoke with, her name was, oh man, what was her name? It started with an N, because I told her I was going to give her a shot. She was so well spoken. And she was such an awesome lady. If anyone wants to be on a podcast or looking to get more exposure in different areas, or audit, Marlo. Her name is Marlo Boyd. I had to look it up because when I tell you she's an amazing conversationalist. But I did the interview with her, and we were just talking about business in general. And she was telling me, she was asking me, out of the clients that I see, what is something that I see that's most common that keeps people from reaching their goals? And I said it was being honest with themselves. Because we all tend to say we believe in the law of attraction. I've never heard anyone in my entire life, even people who didn't understand fully what the law of attraction is, I've never heard anyone say that they did believe in it. So to say that, and to also, on the other hand, say, I don't know how I got here, just shows that you're not paying attention to things that you're doing. And if you're not paying attention to things that you're doing, then sometimes you really don't know where you are. So as you put your coordinates into the GPS to get the directions to where you want to go, you don't get there because it's giving you directions from the place that you said you was at, and you really ain't there. You over here ain't being honest with yourself. So you got the right directions for the wrong person because you ain't fully being who you are. That's the most common thing I see, because people don't want to be honest with themselves. They want to put the pedal to the metal at the wrong time. Really, they need to be backing up. They need to be taking a left. They need to be taking a right. They may need to get out of the car and pee. You know, we push through and blow our bladder out. You know, because we want to get a newsletter done when it was supposed to be done last month. What is 2 more hours? Take your ass to bed. You know, we put the effort and we push the gas a lot of times in the wrong places. Why are you pushing the gas when you're on empty? Why weren't you pushing the gas on your day off? Oh, well, I was just catching. I needed a me day. I know you needed a me day, but the day was not the day for me day. Your me day is for when you get off work, don't do shit. Go lie down, relax, have a good time, rub your feet, give yourself that massage you need, stretch, take the time to cook, eat a healthy meal, and go to bed early. Get up, go back to work, do that. On your day off, cut the music up, get the computer out, baby. Let's do some work. Do it in your good energy, not your leftover, tired, microwavable, got them pulling the mold off the corner energy. Don't your dreams deserve better energy than that? We're hitting the gas in the wrong places. We're putting the wrong coordinates in and wondering why we ain't getting there. Dr. Sue, I'm just gonna shut up.
I'm horrible in that I put the gas in every day. And one of the things that I am having to really work on is taking time off. So I am trying, that's trying is a weasel word. Let me just roll that right on back. The weekend, I started a couple of weekends ago, just watching TV on Saturday or Sunday. I don't usually watch TV, hadn't watched TV in years. But to watch a movie on Netflix or something like that, or to go, I have been going one place on Saturday and one place on Sunday to get out of the house so that I'm not in work mode. I don't have or have not, when I think back over my life, I have been so programmed to work that not working is not an easy thing for me to do. But what I'm learning, one more time, y'all, it ain't like I'm learning this for the first time, is that balance is everything. And to the point that you're making, Carrie, when you are rested, you function better. You get the work done and you don't have to redo it. When you are tired, you don't want to do it, but you're saying, I gotta do it, whatever the it is, then 9 times out of 10, when you look at it the next day or the next week, it's like, I got to redo that because that's not really, it's not resonating here. So that being the case, why not just take the time off? Take the time off on the front end, get rested, and then give it your 100% when you do sit down to do it. So the thing about living as an evolving being, is that let me speak in terms of I am continually assessing me. Where am I? How am I? Is that the best place and space for me? Or is there something I need to improve? If it's something I need to improve, what is it and how do I do it? I have just within I tell all my business. Damn.
Tell it.
I have just been reassessing my next steps. And I told you that I'd been doing this, but I didn't tell you what I was doing, Carrie. So, I've spent a lot of money developing myself as a professional speaker, but I haven't yet stepped out on that stage. And I put my toe in the water and pulled it back. And so I've had to acknowledge in these last few days, why are you doing that? And here's a thought in the midst of everything that I'm about to say. One of my friends slash clients whom I respect mightily said, I'm learning how to be a speaker and it scares me. And that resonated with me. And I said, oh shit, that's why I've been doing this pull push thing. It scares me too. What I know about a thing that scares you is that when you name it, then you can deal with it. If you won't allow it to rise in your consciousness so that you can see it, if you don't have the awareness of what it is, you can't deal with it. And over these last months, I've danced all around it. I'm very comfortable coming on virtual. I'm very comfortable in front of a classroom, but the thought of being on a stage in front of 10,000 people scares me shitless. That said, in 2014, see, this is the way God works. In 2014, God gave me a vision, and it was a big vision. It was so big, it was scary. And I said, I can't, it's just, ooh, I'm going to do that. Uh, but I saw myself on a stage, and there were women, mostly women and girls. There were a few men, but I heard the number 10,000 attendees in that office, in that auditorium. And they were standing up and they're yelling and just screaming. And behind me was this big banner. And the banner said, I am a great woman. I am a great woman. And I was standing, I wasn't at a podium. I was walking back and forth across the stage, dressed in this white dress, this flowy white dress. And I'm talking inspirational, motivational, transformational. God, the vision is too big. It scared me. I have not, and when God gave me that vision, there were witnesses, y'all. When you have witnesses to shit, it's hard to back down because everybody just wanted to know, well, Dr. Sue, when you going to step forward? Because you know in 2014, this was the vision. This is what God gave you, right? You remember, Dr. Sue, that this happened and this happened, and you said, you remember, right? It's like, why y'all remembering that? I'm trying not to remember it. Can we just push it down? But it never went away. It never went away. I just pushed it to the side. So when my friend said that a few days ago, it's like, damn, it's back here again. That's what it is. That's what I have been avoiding because I'm afraid. But fear and faith can't live in the same house. They don't live in the same house. They don't live in the same room. And so I am making a conscious decision. And this is what elevation, this is what spiritual awareness, spiritual awakening, this really, I think, is what it's all about. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be on a stage in front of 10,000 people. I'm trying to weasel on back out of it. But what I
should have just muted your mic because I started to. You can just be like, that's why you said that, because the look on my face. I started to mute your mic, but go ahead.
What I am saying is that with the law of attraction, we're always attracting something. And what I have been attracting has been dancing around me. And I know it. I've known it. It can't come to me or couldn't come to me because I had the barrier up, right? The mental barrier that says, I'm not enough. I can't do it. I don't know enough. I'm not smart enough. Da, 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 da. So I am in the process of, and it is a process, when we are when we're mastering our mind and reframing our thoughts, we have to have the awareness of what the thoughts are. We have to understand that we're always creating. And if you don't want to create a certain thing, then you have to interrupt the pattern of the thing that you have been doing, the thoughts that you've been having. So I am in a process of rewiring my brain, rewiring my mind to move forward on this journey that I was called to. That I was called to.
Yeah, that's it. And you
That's where
gotta
I
know
am now.
exactly where you are. Because, and please correct me if I'm wrong. You were ready in 2014. Yeah, but you didn't realize where you were. Right vision, wrong coordinates.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Because
stuff.
when I thought about it today, yesterday and today, it's like the subconscious mind is so powerful. I have been, as I had this, began to have these awarenesses again, my brain got fuzzy. I couldn't clearly see what God was trying to show me. And so for a couple of days, I was immobilized. That was humanness fighting against spiritual self, right? Higher self. I could not see what was being shown. And when I took the time off, I just said, okay. So then finally, when I said, okay, I'm ready, then I get clarity regarding what it is that I have been holding at bay. And so today I used Chat GPT to brainstorm. And so today I spent the afternoon brainstorming, how do I move forward with this speaking career? Doesn't mean that I won't coach. I love coaching, but the vision, we have to have, it's like I told you about the lady that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. You've got to have a vision that's big enough to pull you into the future. Something has to pull you. So for me, something has to pull me beyond the fear onto the stage, and beyond the stage onto actually helping to transform lives, because that's what I'm here to do. So I am embracing that. Am I afraid? Anytime that I can't speak for anybody else, anytime that I step into an area that I've not stepped into before, it is a little intimidating. But what I remind myself of is that I have accomplished so many things that the world said I would never accomplish. The experiences that I've had were not experiences that I was, quote unquote, by the world standards, supposed to have. And so when the subconscious mind is saying you can't, you have to find something within you that is going to support you. This is where the faith comes in too, because God brought me through all of those things. Finishing high school when I wasn't supposed to, going to college when we had no money, graduating college, getting a master's degree, getting into law school on the only one that I applied to on the first time with money to go to school, getting into a PhD program. All of those were things that given my background, my dad was a murderer. He went to prison for murder. My mom had a third grade education. All of those were things that I was not supposed to accomplish, given my background. But here is what God brought me through all of that. So as I face this new thing, yeah, the humanness, the human part of me is a little scared. But the divine part of me knows God has always been there. Always. And there's nothing, given that God has always been there, God will always be there. Fear and faith, faith and fear. Which one are you going to allow to take control of you in your life? Because the decision, I'm talking to all of us. Whatever you decide is going to dictate what you attract. And this comes back to what Carrie was saying about the law of attraction. Whatever you believe, that's what you're going to get. It never fails. It's a universal law. That's the way it is. Carrie?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, a lot of people think that cliche, believe and you shall receive, is like some thing of tricking yourself to believe something so you can get something. Like, no, whether you say it a million times just because you're trying to trick yourself, you can't trick what you truly believe, because I can say all day something that's not true to my core, and it's still not going to switch things. Like these things that you continue to say to yourself, you do have to eventually believe them in order for them to manifest. You do get what you believe. If you believe you have the worst luck in a certain situation, you will continue to, until you stop supporting that belief. You know, there's been certain times where like something will happen, and I'll say that it's a regular occurrence for me. And I got to the point where I noticed I was doing it. And instead, I would start to laugh, because there's more things. Like, for instance, like if stubbing my toe, I laugh when I stub my toe, versus the millions of other things that make me laugh. And if I add stubbing my toe into the pool of things that make me laugh, it's not that stubbing my toe is going to repeat. It's that I have so many things that make me laugh that other things will stop coming, because it'll start to amplify. You know, because it's not very often I stub my toe. But if you stub your toe, and every time you stub your toe, it's like I always stub my toe in that corner. You've made this specific thing in your specific day or everyday life occur over and over and over, because it's such a straight V to what frustrates you. Because if it's right there and it's so easily accessible for it to be the thing that frustrates you. And it works like with everything. Everybody at work is always gossiping. If you keep saying that, they're going to continuously find something to gossip about. Every time I'm late for work, oh girl, I'm always late. You're going to continue to always be late. My mama don't understand nothing. She's not ever going to understand. But not because she's not capable. Because, like Rosin just said, the word faith. Faith is our weapon. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And this also works in both ways, because you having a belief that you are a certain way is your undeniable faith that you believe that is so, regardless if you have evidence to support it or not. It works both ways. It works for good, and it works for the things that are so good, because we believe so fervently, and that is the way it is for us. And then it cannot be any other way. For real. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Well,
Yep.
I think that, yeah, I didn't think this conversation was going that way.
Right. Whatever comes up, comes up.
I had no idea.
I need another glass of wine, honey.
I had no idea I was going to be spilling my guts about what I was doing, but you know,
Yeah.
I like to be a living lesson. I think that as an evolving spiritual being, I think that we have a responsibility to be living lessons, and not to have shame or guilt or bad feelings about how we are actually evolving, because we stand as models or examples to other people, and we give other people permission, so to speak, to acknowledge where they are, and to know that you're not alone, that despite another person's credentials or their experiences, they, regardless of how high or how low a person may be in anybody's estimation, that there's that range, and that we all fall within it, and that whatever it is that you want to accomplish, or whatever it is you've experienced, somebody else has done that. And if they've done it, then you can do it. Somebody else has fallen on their face. I fell on my face, but I got back up. It's not how many times you fall. It ain't even how hard you fall. It's do you get back up? Because over time, if you are learning from your experiences, then over time you get up more and more quickly. And over time, you see the hole before you fall into it, and you can go around it. So I share about my life because I want people to know, yeah, I got a gazillion degrees, a gazillion credentials, and I've been on my ass a gazillion times, but I keep getting up, keep getting up. And that really is the last thing that I have to say. Keep getting up. no matter who you are, where you are, or what life is presenting to you. As long as you have breath in your body, as long as you can move, keep getting up, whatever that means for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm. They know what it means for them. They know exactly what it means for them. Michelle know what it means for her. Angelique know what it means for her. Rosalind know what it means for her. Who else come through here? Scott was in here earlier. Scott know what it means for him. We know what it means for us. Everybody
Keep
knows
getting
what it
up.
means for them. That's why the universal laws are so precious, because they don't care who you pray to. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care who you vote for. The universal laws works for everybody all the same. If you myself, whoop,
Yep. Every time. Every
every
time.
single time. I don't care what color skin, do that. It gonna do that. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. I don't care, out, in, up, down, round, round. It's the
Yep.
same
Every time.
thing for us all. It is the same for us all. So when you see that something that stands out to you in anyone, because there are several things that people do that don't bother anyone. Like if like for instance, I do this to y'all probably gonna notice all the time now, because I can't stand for, the corners of my mouth to be dry. It drives me nuts. So I do that. But it probably don't bother nobody. But let me be like, and this is an example because ain't nobody ever told me this. So don't be trying to think, ooh, which one of her exes said that. But like, no one's ever told me this. But if you're in a relationship with me, right, just little things like that, it will start to get on your nerves. It's because what's your point of attraction, and it starts to grow. So you find any reason for things to get on your nerves. Please just be aware of the things that you are pointing to every day. If you have a thought in your head about a certain situation, imagine yourself standing here and the situation standing here, and you doing like this. And everything you do, you got to keep doing this. So turn your body. You got to keep pointing at it. Turn your body. You got to keep pointing at it, and then you got to turn around. You trying to pee and pull your pants up, but you got to keep turning. That's how you're going through your life, because your focus is so freaking split. And you thinking, why am I exhausted? Why am I tired? Because you've been doing this all day. You've been doing that all day. And all in somebody else's business, all in someone else's story. I've said it once, I said it a million times. There's 3 places that we tend to spend the majority of our time: the past, the future, and then somebody else's business. Those are the 3 places that we spend most of our time. And again, when we're in someone else's business, it's not always a negative, a bad thing. We may be helping someone, we may be coaching someone, we may be loving on someone, we may be giving someone therapy. It doesn't matter what the reason is. But when we assume it as our responsibility to make that change for them, we are out of line. We're in someone's business, and then we're carrying that home with us because we've assumed that responsibility. Responsibility is going to go to bed. If you think that something that you are directly doing, you personally are directly doing to someone to impact or fix or change their life, you out of line. You can be used as a vessel to deliver information.
Yeah.
That's it. What they do after that is up to them. And you can be obedient or disobedient in doing that, but it ain't your problem, and it ain't your cross to bear. You are your only assignment. And that only assignment is to pay attention to how you feel. And if how you feel is not the way you want to feel, you're getting further and further away from what you're supposed to be focused on. Because the focus is supposed to be on the creation process and to live more abundantly. Period. And if anything is hindering that, I'm not saying throw it out the window. I'm just saying investigate and take the time to figure out how to set your point of attraction to where that thing gets further and further away, because your point of attraction is changing. That's all. You ain't got to say goodbye. You ain't have to have the conversation, and you don't even need closure. Surprise, you don't need closure. Because think about it right now. How many people in your life right now that you thought you would never be without, and they've been gone for a long time, whether it's due to death, drifting away, moved away, they got married, kids, life got busy, and you don't see them no more? Did you ever sit down and have a conversation, say, okay, we're getting ready to go through some rough times. We ain't going to see each other as much no more.
But I need closure.
Right. Right. And we love those people, still love those people. But closure is not necessary for life to do what life does, and that is to respond to your point of attraction. Life don't care. Life do not care what you focusing on. Life is like, huh? And gonna give you whatever you want. Huh? As soon as you think of something, that thing is saying, huh? So I'm just saying. That's my last words. We love y'all. Tell them what you got coming up.
I have to say this. Closure is really the ego taking control. Your ego is saying, I need closure. And the reality is nothing is going to change what has already happened. And nothing is going to change what will happen. If the only person that you can change is yourself. And so if you are in relation to someone else and that person is making a decision about how they want to live their life, then closure is not going to change that. Closure is just your mind saying, well, I really want to know why you doing this. Why'd you do this? You
just in somebody else's business.
Yeah.
In somebody else's
business. But
it's
not going to change anything. I'm not going to change anything.
Yeah, because somebody else's business. So tell them, I'll go ahead and tell them what I got going on. First and foremost, August 2nd. It is the second annual Sacred Queens meetup in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The theme is I'm Her. I'm Her. So HER, it stands for Healed, Empowered, and Resilient. What's up, Frankie? We are going to have the second annual in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's going to be from 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love for anyone who can get down there to come. The tickets are $30 if you buy two, or like partner with somebody. You ain't got to be coming together. They're $50 for 2 tickets. So it drops it down to 25. So that is, again, April 2nd in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I really would hope to see some of y'all there. We got people coming back from last year. I've had people who I asked, but they gladly accepted some new roles this year to be at the door. We're selling tickets for a raffle. We have one of our speakers coming from Canada this year, and we also have Ashley Morgan coming back from Houston, Texas. It is going to be a dynamic event, and we're going to have a taco bar again, and it's going to be bigger than last time. But last time it was big. It's going to be bigger than this time. So I'm excited, and then we're going to have a powwow on the beach afterwards. So it's really going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. And don't forget, the Healing Summit's coming up in December. I know it's May, but before you know it, it's going to be time for the Healing Summit. So if y'all got anybody who's wanting to participate, we already have all the speakers, but I am still looking for people to share their stories of empowerment. So that you can send me a clip. I'm going to create a slide for it. It's going to be about a 10-minute video. I'm going to play it during the Healing Summit. So if anyone has any stories of how they've overcome something, how they have felt empowered, because this will be the first year that the name of the Healing Summit is changing to the Empowerment Summit. And I'm excited about it. This year is the first year. So I'm looking very forward to what it's going to be and how many people it is truly going to touch and empower. So that's what I got going on. And of course, the regular stuff, the IP Enterprise membership, again, that's $60 for the entire year. I still have my dive program, which is 4 weeks long, or you can do the IP membership plus or X, and that's the one where you can do the one-on-one membership, and it's just auto draft out your account. So that's what I got going on. Dr. Sue, tell them what you get, and then we're going to roll on out of here.
Yeah, well, I'm still accepting coaching clients. Would love to have you if you are interested in mind mastery coaching. I am doing the Navigating Spirituality Journey, which is a subscription program that will start next month in June. And then, of course, I'm going to be with Carrie's Healing Summit, now Empowerment Summit in December. And y'all, I am available to speak virtually and in person. So reach out if you need a speaker, because I know how to be professional. I'm just saying. But I know how to
yeah, you do. You got that right. All right, y'all. Well, come back and see us. We weren't even supposed to go live tonight. We were supposed to go live next week, but maybe we'll be back next week too. We shall see. Okay. Hey, Lisa,
love you.
You catching something? Tell you. Go back and watch the replay, Lisa. We love y'all so much, and ain't nothing you can do about it. We'll see y'all probably next Friday. That night, let me get our little video up here. Let me play the video. Here you go.
You know, as I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. You know, at 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that, no, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?